Hello there. If you're an executor of an estate, you may want to listen to this video. I will speak for myself. I'm an executor of my mother's estate. Now, long before my mother passed away, I started kind of, looking into this and educating myself. And I'm working with a lawyer. Now, the minute my mother passed away, I was suddenly in charge. I had power of attorney that I shared with my little sister when mom was alive. But the minute my mom passed away, I was totally in charge of everything. It was up to me just to take control of the estate, which I did. Now, prior to my mom's passing, I visited the funeral home a couple of times, and my mom came along with me. And I remember the first, or one of the most important things the funeral director said to me was, when your mom passes away, you call this number. And she gave me a number to phone. And the minute mom passed away, that's what I did. And I had the body picked up within an hour. Now, of course, there's a few questions you'll probably have to answer on the phone. Not a big deal, you know. Was the death an expected death at home? Yes. In my mother's case, she had just turned 100 years old. She had been diagnosed with pneumonia. So 100 years old, diagnosed with pneumonia, it was an expected death, definitely. So that part was pretty simple. Now, of course, you have to take care of all the finances, the the selling of the property and dealing with all the belongings. In my case, I'm working with a lawyer. Now, one thing you have to be careful of is make sure you listen to your lawyer and read everything they give you. If you have any doubts, ask questions. Uh, One thing you can't do is just go ahead and start selling stuff off or giving it away. The lawyer will apply for probate. That can take about 3 months. And you can't just go ahead and sell the house, because really the house doesn't belong to you. Well, actually, I'll speak for myself. In my case, the house does not belong to me, so I could not just go ahead and sell the house because it doesn't belong to me. So it would be very illegal to do something like that. Once probate is granted, then I can go ahead and sell the house and start dispersing money, paying off some bills, that sort of thing, and taking care of business that way. There's going to be some money you're going to have to put out for a few things. The first thing I had to buy the very first day after my mom's passing was death certificates. They were about $45 each at the time. I only had to get three because most people will take it, they'll make a copy, they'll give it back to you, when you go to the bank or whatever. The lawyer wanted an original copy. Everybody else just wanted, pardon me, the lawyer wanted one of the originals. Everyone else just wanted copies. They were happy with that. And always have the will with you when you go to the bank. I had a copy of the will and the death certificate. I brought that with me every time I went and met with the bank or the insurance or whoever. I brought all these things with me. I kept them in a little briefcase, and I took all that stuff with me, and I made sure that everybody had made copies of the will and of the death certificate, so they would have it on file. I had myself a little notebook, kept track of everything I had to do, and I got to work right away. I didn't put things off, until after the weekend. If there was something I had to do that day, I tried to get it done as soon as I could. You have to make sure that there are no outstanding debts. Your lawyer's going to want to see a DOD, which is a date of death balance from the account of the person who passed away. Like I said, in my mother's case, they wanted to have a copy of all of her accounts, checking accounts, savings accounts, tax-free savings account, her long-term investments. I went over the safety deposit box with one of the bank employees, and that lady recorded everything that was in my mother's safety deposit box, and all that was given to the lawyer. Now, you have to make sure that the people you go to see, like the insurance people and the people at the bank, that they're doing their job, because when I went to get these balances, the lady had taken all the balances and gave them to me, but neglected to put the dates on them. And I looked at it, I didn't really even notice that right away. And then I had to go back, and then she had to add the dates. I would have felt like an idiot taking these to my lawyer with no dates on them. So it's a good thing I caught that. And then, of course, with the insurance, because my mother was, when she passed away, the house was now empty. I had to get like a vacancy insurance, and that was quite pricey. And the first quote they gave me, I thought was a lot of money. Then they got back a couple of days later and said, no, that's wrong. This one is the correct estimate, or pardon me, the correct amount, and it's even more. It was like another $700 more. It was just crazy, I go, wow, and it was only for 4 months, September, October, November, December, and that was it. just for the remainder of that year, and it was a lot of money. Actually, it was like around $2,000. So you have to be prepared to lay this kind of money out. Okay, I just put everything on my line of credit. That's one way of doing it. And then I got in touch with the lawyer, and the lawyer said that once probate is granted, then you can get reimbursed for these things. But there's a lot of money to lay out, and also we had to do some home improvements in my mom's house. Let me see, the ensuite, the toilet was leaking. We had to get that fixed. That was over $2,000. The skylights had gone kind of moldy. There's some issues there. I'm going to get that dealt with. That's going to be a few bucks as well. I got a friend of mine doing it, but he's just going to charge me the regular rates, and he'll get those dealt with. But these things all cost money. Painting up the house, the inside. I had to replace the hood vent. It was only $100 and some, but still it costs money. I bought 2 brand new toilets, because the one in the main bathroom was just awful, and of course the one in the ensuite, the floor had rotted, so we had to replace it anyway. So that was that. And there's just little things like that. I had to get an accountant, and the accountant wanted to get some medical information from the doctor. Of course, the doctor charged me for that around $233, I think it was, and that's fine. But these things all add up. So be prepared to lay some cash out. Do your due diligence. Keep track of everything. Keep all your receipts. Have the receipts, if possible, made out to the estate of the person who passed away. Because you have to set up an estate account, which I did right away. That's one of the first things the lawyer said to me was, you have to go to the bank, a date of death balance from your mother's account, get an account set up that is the estate account. It was no longer my mother's checking account. It was now the estate account. And so you have to get all that done. So anyways, there is a lot of money to put out, but hopefully you recoup all that at some point. And there's just, a lot of things you have to do. So keep track of everything. Keep meticulous records. I kept track of all my expenses. I even kept a few receipts for my gas, because I had to drive back and forth a lot of money for gas. So keep track of everything. Keep track of money that you had to, put out. And also the bills that I got, keep track of the bills. You have to cut off the cable and the phone and, this kind of thing. I left the hydro on for the obvious reason, but and the user rates, you keep getting bills for all this stuff that keep coming in. You got to pay those, and I paid those. Those I could pay through my mother's estate account, because these were her bills in her name already. So I could just take them to the bank, and they would just pay them out of her estate. But any other expenses I incurred, like even garbage removal, really added up after a while, and I had to take on those fees myself. So there's actually a lot to know about being an executor. You may want to say, you know what, it's not for me. I don't want it. Because like I said, you have to lay out some cash. It's a huge responsibility, but it's also a great honor to do this. If you are asked to do this by your parents or loved ones or a spouse or whoever, it is a great honor, but make sure you're up to it, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. So anyways, that's really all there is to know about that. That's all I can tell you anyway. Please hit the like button. If you have a comment, drop me a comment. I'd appreciate hearing from you, especially if you have experiences similar to what I have and you'd like to share them. So in the meantime, you take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye for now.